case you all happen to be wondering, I'm needing to make use of the extractors and all the centrifuges to break down all the glowstone dust that I've been getting from the glow flowers into redstone and gold. I'm going to needing a whole lot of gold for the future. And redstone is also another way of getting chrome, with that being centrifuge, as well as silicon. So this will be very helpful for me for what's coming up next. Funny thing about stainless steel making here, just going through the quests all about it, stumbled across a quest that posted a recommendation to speed up the process of making them. It recommends a second EBF. Needless to say, I'm already ahead of this quest because I've already created a second electric blast furnace. But adding another EBF is actually a good idea. I got the power to support it. Why not, as you see in this time lapse? That's right, everybody. You saw that just right. I'm finally entering in HV tier as I project for the next episode. Hello, everybody. This is Sam Serious. So, it's been a long time. This last few months has been crazy. That's all I'm going to say. But it's good to be back with this again. So as projected the last episode, I've got HV tier going up again now. I got the machine hole spade. First things I'll probably do with this is to focusing on two things for a moment. One, I will want to work towards the clean room here so I can make the more advanced circuits. That way I can create circuits more cheaply. And two, I will want to make a bunch of chemical
some advanced chemical reactors so I can make the Eyes of Enders necessary to wrap up a goal that was set a long time ago in regards to a task I could not be completing on time. Some of y'all may remember that I could not complete the fusion altar because of a lack of resources to create the Eye of Ender. Well, the time has come now to wrap that task up. That'll be this episode's priority for today. Once I get that done, then I'll focus more towards the clean room. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. The task of making all the stainless steel was a little bit grindy. But a good while of doing this, eventually got all the stainless steel ingots made for the PDF to create all the plates and rods for the HV machines. So I got all the electric motors and all that, robotic arms, pumps, just enough to get things started. That should be enough for me to make the chemical reactor and the gas turbines. Now, it was a long time to process these materials, not to mention that to make the first basic HV circuits has been a long, tedious process to make. But I got down. Sure, yeah, it took a whole lot of waiting, but the beautiful thing about GTNH at times is that there's always another thing to do. While in the process of doing all that, I managed to plan out my next set of stories of machines just through this little hallway here. Just as a quick reference to get started on the next set of floors on this base. I've also, in between episodes, created a glow flower farm. So I got a extractor centrifuge machine wall set up to where I'm able to generate gold and redstone freely. Furthermore, I'm breaking redstone dust down in silicone, pyrite, and ruby dust. So I got free iron, silicone, and chrome because of that. So this here will help carry me through with HV just by the fact that I'm producing a large amount of iron. Similar deal with chrome and silicon. Iron and gold, I'm actually going to say that I am now having a good problem with that. Just by the very fact I'm able to freely produce so much of it within an hour. Like, I'm literally about about 4.5 oak drawers worth full of iron and 3 oak drawers worth of gold. That's thousands of ingots out of that. I'm not going to be burning through that anytime soon. I haven't exactly fully decided where I'm going to be putting the HV machines at. That's something I'll have to figure out some other time in this episode. But in the meantime, I'll have my direct attention redirected elsewhere just for the sake of getting that fusion altar done.
Alright, now that I got the runic matrix made, I'll go ahead and get that fusion altar built up. Before I did, though, going through the Phenomenomicon on how to build this, I came to realize that this whole platform was a little too high for it. Like, the altar can fit in it, the problem is, the central cube on top will be clipping through the ceiling of this room. That wouldn't exactly look all that well for a fusion altar. Thank goodness for his architect saw bench to allow me to make the roof tiles here to make a smooth transition down without having to alter around too much, which was a welcoming matter. I actually made some more shapes too as well to add to the feel here. Of course, depending on certain angles, you'll be able to see the anti-blocks I've slapped down here, but on the way back up, doesn't matter too much in terms of aesthetics. I'll have to say more about what's available. But yep, all I gotta do is just plop down a bunch of the arcane stone bricks and stone blocks. A pedestal. Sniper's just a temporary placeholder to allow me to put the matrix up here. And where's the wand? There we go. That's the runic matrix. I'll just go ahead and put these pedestals down in place real quick. I only have 6 of these pedestals remaining, just for enough for the primal aspects. I guess that's how it is. Everything revolves around those primal aspects of Thaumcraft, what seems like. But there y'all go. For many episodes, because of that Eye of Ender, I could not make this. I wished I've known that long before, because I would have not entertained that idea so soon if I've realized that anytime sooner. That's one thing with GTNH. You might want to thoroughly go through any recipes to better plan things for the future. Like, in my case, if I have not realized that diffusion altar wasn't viable without recording this wouldn't have been a big deal. But because of the fact I've kind of announced a plan that had to be delayed in a series, because that was like a bit, it felt pretty awkward. It's like I felt like that I was not keeping up with a word or a promise of sort given. But yeah, this room, it's pretty much built up now. All I gotta do is just start building up all the Sentia jars and stuff to be hidden behind the walls and stuff like that, and see if that works. It should. But that there will be for another time. Excuse that frame drop, please. In the meantime, I've been extremely productive elsewhere. So, in the mix, so after I made the fusion altar, I've, as planned, went towards to progress towards the clean room. Now, originally, I was going to make a big clean room, but I realized I needed to make a whole lot of air filters for the whole ceiling had to be covered with air filters. That's going to require me to make a whole another batch of stainless steel ingots, which I don't feel like spending the time to grind for the moment. Like, I can do it, but I would like to be able to just get things going. I've already made like 12 stacks of stainless steel ingots already to get HV going here. And that took hours. So because of that, I just went for the minimum size of the clean room. This got the maintenance match to machine block necessary to make this clean room the clean room, and then I got the MV holes to put items in and out of. Now, in order to extract items out of these holes, though, I still need to make use of the conveyor belts. So that I had to do and put them on extraction mode with. Now, in terms of routing power into the machines inside, I'm making use of the cable diodes at MV tier. Now, these are at 12 amps. That's overkill, I'm aware. I just figured, should I decide to make further expansion of components in there, that this might be a good idea to make sure that I have plenty of amps to work with, so that way I'm not undersupplying a bunch of machines, should I choose to really expand off of this clean room. Now, there's 2 turbines here going into the clean room. The clean room multi-block structure itself has to be powered. It'll initially be demanding 40 EUs per tick, but as longer you run it, the more efficient it's going to get, and how fast it maintains 100% efficiency is based on the energy hatch that you're being supplied into it, which, with me already going MV machines in here, I decided to just go for an MV energy hatch instead of LV, just for sake of simplifying wiring and stuff. When this here goes to full efficiency, it'll be consuming about 4 EUs per tick instead of 40. So that's the power demand when this is working fully is very negligible, which makes the machines inside which makes the machines inside be the very systems that demands a lot of power. So really, these turbines are dedicated for the machines inside, while barely keeping the clean room going. The reason why you would want this to be running 100% efficiency, though, is because should it be below 100%, there's a chance that any circuits or components that you make inside of it get voided. Which also means I also have to keep up with the maintenance hatch should this develop any maintenance issues, because one maintenance issue will give you a 10% penalty. So that's 10% chance of items being voided out. So I'll have to keep a close eye on that. If OSHA were to be here, this would totally be an OSHA violation. So so you all may be wondering, how am I getting in there? Elevator blocks. Sure, yes, I can also make use of a reinforced door and some pressure plates, but if I have it open, there's a chance of voiding items out with the door. So I decided to just go for an elevator. So I have a MV laser engraver, cutting machine, and an MV circuit assembler in here to make the next set of circuits. Ironically, with the clean room, it actually came a very good AFK spot, actually. If I'm having to process things alone and don't want to be spending time babysitting things, I can just go in here without having to worry too much about any zombies marauding around trying to take me out. It's no fun when you're like gone for like 3 hours and you find yourself being dead for however long. So with the clean room here, I've been busy with it. I've created a whole lot of LV tier microprocessor, which is nice because for a slightly less amount of copper being supplied, you're producing 2 microprocessors per crafting recipe instead of it being nearly 1-to-1 with resources being provided. So microprocessors for LV tier is for sure the cheapest circuits to make, just by the fact that you're able to produce so much with similar resource costs. MV circuits are slightly cheaper too as well, at this extent too as well. But I went ahead with the clean room here and created a stack worth of HV circuits. I've been going booming very hard on MV for a good while in this episode. Like, I created a stack worth of processor of processor assemblies, which is an HV circuit, advanced assemblers, macerators, of course the chemical reactor necessary to make the Eyes of Ender for the fusion altar, as well as an HV advanced miner. That has already served pretty well for this tier already. So I made a complete machine wall dedicated to HV already, which really makes my workflow on making circuits so much easier. I'm not having to wait so much around anymore versus what I was having to do before with LV machines and the MV machines. Even with MV machines and LV machines working together here, it still took me some time, but all three of these allows me to make multiple parts at once. And that is a royal time saver. So with all the...
Who's? Who?
Nothing like dogs demanding attention to be paid somewhere. So what did I do with all of the circuits? I made even more MV machines with them. I've also went and took the liberty to add a bunch of advanced ore washing plants and centrifuges, as well as the electric furnaces. So my ore washing wall processing wall is completely MV. And I tell you one thing, this is really fast with how it produced things versus how it was doing before. Like, this whole system overall is processing ores 4 times faster versus the LV machines I was having set up before. However, it's doing so at 16 times the power demand, so 16 times the benzene needs being consumed by this whole wall overall. And as I was fearing, my power supply system couldn't exactly keep up. Like, I was producing enough benzene. It's just the problem was that I was not producing enough wood to keep up with the benzene demand. So my solution, as you can see over there, you guess it, that extra tower. This tower is going down. This tower here will be replacing the original tower here that I have set up since LV. I'm going to be repurposing the LV crop manager for purposes for just basically just to replace this whole crop field. I'll still have this whole crop field up just for aesthetics, but I'm going to make a separate farm that has like a more variety of crops in it, so that way I can have a more automatic way of creating, of having fruits and vegetables necessary to keep myself sustained. So that way I don't have to worry about running out of certain resources ever again, should I need to make more food. So yeah, I created a second tower over there to replace this one. Now some of y'all can look at this room here and look at the electric glass furnaces and all the pyrolysis ovens I've set up. Those of y'all have been around for GTNH for a while, y'all know that these are very polluting structures. And pollution with rain, acid rain will actually really turn blocks into sand, which means it will destroy any farms that you have set up within the polluted chunk. So I moved the tower over there to completely bypass that issue to minimize the risk of having the primary source of power from being rained out. So doing that ensures even more security for my power production, because if all that gets turned into sand, it's going to be one heck of a time for me to recreate all the dirt necessary to get everything going. And then I'll also be having one heck of a time trying to jumpstart the whole power production system because of acid rain. So I went ahead and just created that tower to bypass that problem. And I further won't have to worry about pollution messing up farms when I have the filter multi-block here, the air filter multi-block here, be upgraded to HV power. It'll be able to cover more chunks and it'll be able to process things a lot faster. So that there would be able to be a good solution to even mitigate the pollution issue even further. So off the old tower, I grabbed the original MV crop manager that I've slapped down to work with the LV crop manager and made 3 more crop managers. So I got 4 MV crop managers harvesting off of these bonsai spruce trees here. Now I've been monitoring this closely to make sure that there's no weeds developing, and so far it looks like I got everything quite tackled down in terms of the weed problems. Like I've spotted 2 mistakes where weeds were growing, destroying crops, but I caught both times on time. I still will keep an eye on this every now and then, but I think I got that situation squashed. So, 4 times the wood production and saplings, and all the saplings I'm creating here, they're all the wood saplings are going into the 2 barrels that are still over at the original LV area. But those are getting voided out automatically just for sake of keeping production going. Also, too, I plan on moving the ethanol production system more towards that area, so that way I can just have easier eyes on what's going on over there, and then I'll then proceed to tear down the whole tower. That tower's not needed there anymore. As a quick disclaimer, though, and I've stumbled across this upon a few individuals on the GTNH Discord who told me this, I was informed that the crop managers can mine 3 blocks below, but if you read the tooltip, it says it can only harvest 1 blocks above and below itself. The 15 by 30 by 15 blocks that you're reading there is specifying the dimensions of the box that the crop managers harvest in within, with the crop manager being at the very center of that box. Now, I've just tested this not too long ago to see if it's able to harvest 3 blocks above or below, and I can confirm for y'all that a crop manager does not. I've gave this an hour, and the saplings were left untouched until I moved the crop manager down. Now, I don't know if there's like a secondary mode to this that I don't know about, but should y'all be choosing to use the crop manager for the future reference, I would not recommend assuming that it mines 3 blocks up or down. Only 1 block above and down, giving it a 3 block height in the box that it mines in. Just something for y'all to keep in mind with the crop managers. I just want to clarify that misconception. At this point, a lot has been done in the production of this episode. As y'all see here too as well, went a little crazy on niter production. Ever since I created the alchemical construct, I've been going crazy with making niter. I'm choosing to have niter be the primary means of lighting up this base, just by the fact that I can just have it freestanding in mid-space, it's just as bright as glowstone, and doesn't get obstructed by water, and instantly breaks. Now, it's a bit tedious to make versus torches and glowstone, but considering the fact I got a centrifuge system working with that, and I can easily get all the wood to make and charcoal to make all the torches and the essentia necessary to create these. Yeah, I can freely produce these easily. I do want to make a setup that's more dedicated to make the niter more freely in the future, though. But that's for the future to work about. I'm also, because of the fact I've done so much in HV, I keep on looking around and realize that even though I've done a whole lot to make the space, it's still rather behind. It feels rather behind just with how much I've progressed so far, so... Within the next episode, I'll be more focused on expanding the base even more in terms of the wall. Because don't forget, this whole area is meant to be a terrarium being preserved. And I think it's about time that I start focusing more on that now that I got plenty of resources and the automation to do so. Also, too, I got a lot of the basic infrastructure set up necessary to proceed further with HV. Now, I could work towards EV circuits here to make the HV version of the advanced circuit assembler and set up a good foundation. But working towards EV machine is no good without titanium. Now we know that there's no titanium. I haven't spotted any easy sources of getting titanium in the overworld, nether, and in the Twilight Forest dimensions. Which means, as hinted by this, I'm going to have to work towards Galacticraft at some point. It means that it's now time to also start thinking about going to the moon. This will be a completely new experience for me, for I never went that far with Galacticraft in general. So I'm going to have to think about where to set up the rocket silos and stuff, the mission control area necessary for the rocket. And I'm going to have to think about what exactly I'm going to be needing to be able to sustain myself on the moon. Because remember, y'all, this isn't just Minecraft with Galacticraft. This is GregTech New Horizons. And we all know how nasty the mobs can be in GregTech New Horizons. So I'm going to have to plan ahead to maximize my benefit off this time, which means I'm likely going to have have a reliable means of having oxygen, and two, a very fast method of gathering all the ores on the moon, especially for titanium should I want to proceed to IV tier. Or wait, is it EV or IV? Okay, if I've been saying IV this whole time, I meant EV. One of the things I'm looking forward towards the later tiers is an applied energistic system. That will make inventory management so much easier to do. So, in the relative future, I will be advancing onto the moon. I'm also going to have to think about other means of power production too as well at some point, because HV is a big power suck from what I'm seeing so far, especially with what I'm having to do here with the tree farms and all. Either way, lots has begun. I finally hit HV, y'all, after all these years. Especially with the big break that I had to take from this. And things are starting to become easy to do now that I've gotten a grip on this. Anyhow, if any of y'all made it this far, thank y'all for watching, and feel free to make any comments or ask any questions, and I'll be there to try to be there. Anyhow, y'all, I will see y'all in the next episode. Take care.